been really uptight about the show.
Super tense. Dump a little bit of that right in there.
This is clearly vodka.
It's the Roundup.
Come on, correct me. Why do we have so much booze? Is there any pleasing this guy?
You know, I feel really bad for Jozef lately. Like, he's just been really uptight about the
He's
show.
been super tense.
Right,
If we could just find out how to, like, loosen him up a little
I
bit.
think I got an idea for
Yeah,
that,
you
actually.
think so? Little
Good
booze.
call,
man.
Little booze in there.
Why don't we just dump a little bit of that right in there, you know? He'll never know.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Reuben?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
I'm just, I'm sure you've noticed Jozef's had a stick up his ass the size of a 2-pack shit quarterly.
We were just saying
So, I mean, I
that.
thought I got this from my Uncle Danny. I thought
Right.
just maybe butter up the boy a little
Okay,
bit.
all right.
Yeah, good
So,
idea.
just a little.
Cool. You just do that.
I mean, don't tell him.
All right,
It's,
yeah.
it's
No,
for
we
his
won't.
own good.
It's all right.
It's going to be for a better work environment. He's going to have
Sure.
no idea.
Good.
He's not going to be able to
All right,
tell.
we'll see you later.
See you around.
Reuben. Yeah.
Okay, we're about ready to start. Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Weekly.
I'm Matt Henry.
And I'm Joseph Richards, and we'll be bringing the news to you as we see it, as we hear it. And that's it. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
That's all. Great. Okay. Well, folks, this week on Friday Night Weekly, we're going to be doing things a little differently. We're not going to be going for all the cheap jokes and crappy gags and just overall nonsense. Last week was the last you're going to see of all those jokes. But having said that, we're not going to lose the personal touch that we have on this show. We're just going to do it in a different way. We'll be personal and engaging without being foolish. So we'll have some friendly banter. And we'll do that now, for example. So, Matt, how was your week this week?
Oh, honestly, Jozef, I'm glad you asked. You know, I've just been drinking water constantly this week. I mean, I'm constantly jonesing for sips. I'm drinking water all the time. I can't get enough of this stuff.
Well, if you were drowning, maybe that would be enough.
Well, what better way to go, right? I mean, you know, it's surrounded by delicious, clean water, right?
Okay, well, but for some, that would be just a legitimately terrifying experience.
Well, yeah, for some people it would be delicious and, you know, refreshing.
Sure. I don't know, though, they would be dying.
No, yeah, but I mean, have you tried this stuff? It's delicious.
Of course.
You know, drink.
Of course.
I mean, drink it up, and it makes you feel better and refreshed and relaxed.
Oh,
Oh my, mine wasn't.
Ryan, you put booze in my cat mug.
Oh,
I mean, come on, man.
shit, you're
I was
right.
water.
I'm
It's
sorry.
brown. Brown.
I'll be right back with that. Sorry.
I mean, gosh, you know, I'm gonna get pulled over later.
I know, and you were excited about the water after
And
I
I
was
wasn't
talking about
expecting.
it.
Okay, no, but
All right, here you go. Water. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Thanks, Ryan.
Apologize, Joseph.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, anyways.
Try it though, because it's good.
Ryan, this is clearly vodka.
Oh.
Come on, correct this.
I don't know.
Water,
It's just
please.
it looked the same.
Okay, please.
I mean, how could that?
Water. I promise, water.
I mean,
You
obviously
know,
it's an accident, but
I don't know. We're having a nice personal moment here, and
right.
I don't know. What do we have so much booze on this?
All right,
Let's
here's some
try to take
water.
it
I
seriously.
tasted it myself. I
Let's try-
promise. I don't know what
It looks
happened.
like
I tried
it's
putting the whiskey in. I tried putting the vodka in. I don't know how he could tell. What he would. What he just drink.
News of the week.
A court ruling in San Jose, California determined that Google must face federal claims in a lawsuit alleging that it illegally reads and mines private content sent through its email service in violation of federal wiretap laws. The judge stated that the court could not conclude that any party, Gmail users or non, had consented to Google's reading of their emails. In its defense, Google argued that users agree by accepting their terms of service and privacy policy, to which the judge responded, "Nobody reads those things. Are you nuts?"
Yesterday morning, the Curiosity rover found water on Mars. In other news, there's water on Earth too, but you don't hear us bragging about it all the time. Mars, right?
Body parts have been found in the sewers of Detroit suburbs for the third time in just over a year. Upon their initial investigation, police believed it was very likely the body parts were simply medical waste that was improperly disposed of. But then they remembered they were right next to what usually ranks as the murder capital.
Early this week in northern China, a woman who was drinking pickled snake wine to cure her ailments, because apparently that's something people do, was surprised when the pickled snake sprung back to life and bit her. When reached out for comment, the woman didn't feel like saying too much about the incident, likely due to the fact that she was recently attacked by a snake. According to her doctor, though, her injury should heal quickly as long as she remembers to swallow 2 wasps, kiss a clenched monkey fist, and snort crushed rhino horns 3 times daily after each meal.
Former President George H.W. Bush and his wife attended a same-sex marriage this week between 2 of their longtime friends, Helen and Bonnie. The elder Bush even signed off on official documents for the newlyweds, showing them support rarely seen by prominent Republicans in present day. When asked about his newfound acceptance of gay marriage, Bush said, "Wait, I thought this was a lesbian wedding."
Recently resigned Boston Police Commissioner Edward F. Davis says, and I quote, "There is no magic bullet to stopping terrorism. Clearly he's never tried using one of those blenders. Give a terrorizing Boston bully one of my magic bullet smoothies, and I'd be willing to bet the only thing they'll be terrorizing is me for some more of my smoothies. I make a mean sweet treat."
That's our news for the week, and now we're going to be doing a new segment here on Friday Night Weekly.
Exciting.
Earlier this year, following the first willful resignation of a pope since 1294 when former Hitler Youth Pope Benedict XVI stepped down, the Catholic Church elected its newest leader, Pope Francis, who has become a staple in the news this year for his surprisingly progressive views. Taking a less formal approach to the papacy by living in a guest house instead of the typical palace, Pope Francis has stood up for human rights, anti-violence, and equality, instead of the usual autofellatio and child abuse cover-ups typical to the cloth. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pope has gone rogue, and we'll be covering in just what way on this week's installment of the Rogue Pope Roundup.
It's the Rogue Pope Roundup! Yeah!
They are children, women, and men who leave or who are forced to leave their homes for various reasons, who share a legitimate desire for knowing and having, but above all for being more. This is what Pope Francis had to say on the hot-button issue of migrants and refugees. Particularly disturbing are those situations where migration is not only involuntary but actually set in motion by various forms of human trafficking and enslavement. Nowadays, slave labor is common currency. Wow. Now, not only did the Pope just acknowledge the often swept under the rug problem of human trafficking and enslavement persistent in the world today, but he actually condemned it. Way to Pope, Francis. Way to Pope.
Way to Pope.
Way to Pope.
Way to Pope.
A change of attitude towards migrants and refugees is needed on the part of everyone, moving away from attitudes of defensiveness and fear, indifference and marginalization. Keep poping the good Pope, Pope Francis. This has been the Rogue Pope Roundup.
Rogue Pope Roundup! Yeah!
All right, I think we about poped the good Pope for today. Right now we're going to do something that's a bit of a change up from how we normally have been doing the Reuben Report, which has been a failure in my opinion.
Right, we noticed that Reuben was being really, really good at defending himself.
In fact, that's about all he was good at. So
Right.
we decided to give him a more noble task this week. What he's going to be doing is defending the defenseless. Standing up for those that nobody else will. Much like the Pope was standing up for the refugees and the migrants.
Right,
That's basically what Reuben's going to be
exactly
doing.
Exactly like that, I'm sure.
So it's my pleasure to introduce our new segment here with Reuben Glazer, The Defense Corner.
Thanks, boys, for giving me this segment. I have to say, I put a lot of thought into this as to who I should defend, but quite frankly, it's a no-brainer. In fact, I'd actually like to backtrack to earlier in this episode of FNW when we were talking about the snake in the bottle. That's who I'm going to defend. Let's think about this, all right? Put yourself in that snake's shoes for a moment. Wouldn't you bite a woman too if you were in a glass bottle surrounded by pickling fluids for 2 months? I know I would, probably even twice. And what else is the snake supposed to do? It's in this bottle, coiled up, already in a perfect springing position. If a tiny hole were to open up above him, a small hole of refuge, I would do the same thing. I'd try and get out of that hole. And that snake was probably so happy he probably had this big toothy grin that anybody within close proximity couldn't help but get bit by the snake. And so, what does this noble snake get as a prize for surviving 2 months surrounded with liquid in a glass bottle? Oh, I don't know. How about he probably got nothing? In fact, the guy's probably dead. You know, the bitch who got bit, she's getting all the sympathy and nobody's even trying to think about this snake. But to this snake, I say rest in peace, brother. And to all other snakes in bottles, if you're still alive, keep up the good fight. Bite as many people as you can. This has been Reuben's Defense Corner. Ding, 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 ding.
All right, Reuben, come on over.
Wow, great job, Reuben.
Hello,
Yeah, that was-
gentlemen.
that was
Thank you.
good.
I gotta say, it felt good in the heart, good in the soul
Yeah,
to do that
I
bit.
could tell.
So.
It showed.
Can I just say for future reference, Reuben, we would prefer if you would focus more on people, more marginalized groups, stuff like that, rather than just animals from obscure...
Can I cut you off real quick? I have to ask you a question. Is
Yeah.
there any pleasing this guy?
Yeah, I mean, you could please him.
I
Just do what he
look
asks.
here, sanctimonious, self-righteous, pious Zeph Richards isn't even willing to defend a snake in a bottle. And if you aren't, then who is? Oh, how's about you try this on for size? Reuben Glazer is. And actually, I'd like to send a message to any creatures who may be in compromising situations. If you need defending, come to me. I'll defend you in the Reuben's Defense Corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
Great job, Reuben. Wow,
Thank you.
That was
Cut the
incredible.
glass.
Remember,
We did that.
humans.
Wow, man, I gotta say, I think Reuben really redeemed himself on this one. Honestly, I think the new direction that we're taking this show is really going to work. I think, leaving the jokes on the wayside. We don't need the jokes to have the hard-hitting news stories, and I think that's really what we should focus on, as Jozef said. And I think that it showed on this episode that we take things a little bit more seriously from now on, and I hope the viewers agree. Don't forget to like, share, comment, tell us what you want, because I feel like this is the type of news story, or news show rather, that you guys are gonna want. Less jokes, more facts, and we're just gonna keep on. We're gonna keep on going like this, okay? Like I said, I think this show works really well like this, and I think that it's. What are you doing? No, just stop. Just please stop. You don't, Dad, Jozef. You don't need to. You don't have to do this. It's fine. Just stop. Please. You don't need to. Just stop drinking.
Ryan, this is clearly vodka.